before we actually knowing which awning we're dealing with. And the very first thing I want you to think about when it comes to determining that is something we refer to as a variant label. Now, variant labels are on many different products, and it's how we catalog all of our items. And some of the information might include what color the fabric is. It might include how long the awning is, or maybe even what type of awning. So this is what we're going to be looking for. You can actually find this as well directly from your roll tube. So this is going to be on there as well. This is going to be our very first step in identifying our awnings that you will want to hone in on. There are a couple of other components that I would still consider common components, but there's enough difference within them that they are important to talk about sort of outside that realm. And really a perfect example of this would be something like a pitch arm. Now, a pitch arm serves a critical role to allow an awning to pitch, to increase the sun shade effect that we might have on a low horizon, and you might see a couple of different types on your awning. You will see a couple of different types of mounting arms as well when we talk about the 1000 XL series or even the universal support arms. These are going to be a slight variation of them, but all awnings are going to have them as well as our mounting arms. These are going to be common components with a slight variation. Finally, we look at our strut. Now, the strut serves a critical role in providing the outward tension for those arms. These would be considered semi-common components.
When it comes to identifying your manual awnings, a couple of things stand out above the rest. And what I mean by that is there's a couple distinguishing factors that you'll notice right away. So manual pull strap awnings, beginning with the 1000 XL series, you'll notice this has very distinct looking arms. And this is what you're going to notice first about this awning, where we have our travel lock on the side and our handle lock at the bottom. These are different arms than what's used on any of the other sort of manual awnings. Now, if we look up at the top here to the drive side, which is going to be on our right, we'll notice that all of these manual awnings, they also do not have any sort of motor, any sort of wires. If you have any indication that yours does, you might not have a manual pull strap awning with that at all. So our 1000 XL series, we can see on the drive side, there are no motors, and we have a very unique head to it as well. This is what you're going to be looking for in order to identify yours. Now, the 1000 series, it's not actually on my wall, but what you're going to be looking for in order to identify it is a mounting arm that's very similar to that of the hybrid or many of our other awnings. It'll have that traditional style, which is just slightly different than that of the 1000 XL series. Now, apart from that, you're also going to notice that we have the pull strap at the top, which is a key characteristic of any manual pull strap awning, but especially for the 1000 series as well.
Now, the 1500 series, this one's pretty easy to identify because we have this crank. And this crank is going to allow us to easily see that this is the hybrid style of awning. The final of our manual pull strap awnings that I want to talk about is actually our window awning, where we can see here this little strap that's going to come out. This will be pulled down and attached to the side of the unit. That is what we're going to be looking for. So with our manual pull straps, do I have a strap coming out of the top? Can I see a motor or wiring? And mostly what you should be looking for is the sticker that is on the bottom of the mounting arm. This is going to be a great place to start, and where I recommend you do so to identify your awning. But what do we do when it comes to identifying a power awning? Now, there's a couple landmarks we're really going to be looking for, but just like the other ones, we're going to start by making sure that there might be a sticker in the lower portion of the awning. Here on the mounting, we should find all of the different ones there, but there are a couple of really distinguishing factors for each of the power awnings. Now, starting here at the 5000 series and descending my way through the rest, we'll notice that the 5000 series has a very unique head. This is a protective cover that will come free and is unique to the 5000 series. So if you're looking to identify it, we don't see the sticker, this is going to be a great place for us to do that. Now, moving forward, the 4000 series, otherwise known as the 18-volt awning, you're going to notice at the bottom of this, we are going to have wires that connect to that battery pack and the switch as well, which is completely unique to the 18-volt awning, the 4000 series. You wouldn't see this on any of the others. This is going to be the key distinguishing feature for them. The 3500 series, also known as the Smart Arm, will have a controller right on the inside of this mounting arm, and also the infrared sensor at the bottom. This is going to be what you'll notice most about them. And as we go here, you'll also notice that there are some lights, some LEDs that are specific to some of the awnings and can be a great identifying marker as well. As we go through some of the other ones, it's a little bit less noticeable as to what they are, but still they have some of the key features. And going forward with the 3000 series, you'll notice that it really just doesn't have maybe the wire at the bottom that the 18 volt does, or the protective flap of the 5000 series. This is a standard looking awning, and what you're really looking for is really the absence of the features to identify them. Now, we do have a couple more, namely the Edge series, which can come in the 1800 series as well as the 2000 series, and they feature a lot of the same components. You'll notice that the Edge has this very unique head where we can see this sort of raised area on it as well. This is going to be how we know it's an Edge, but to be able to distinguish the 1800 series versus the 2000 series, we're actually going to measure the mounting arms, where the 1800 series is going to be slightly shorter. We're going to be looking for 53 inches mounting arm top to bottom. This is going to be the best way to identify which power awning you have. There's one final awning that looks completely different than the others, so identifying it might not be as big of a struggle, and that is none other than our 7000 series manual awning. This is also known as a bat wing or a 270-degree awning, and you can tell aesthetically it looks much different than our traditional mounting arm style awnings. A little bit later we'll get into how this one operates, but for now what you're looking for is an awning that's going to wrap the side of the unit and also paying close attention to that identifying sticker. In this video, we talked about some of the common components that are going to be on all of the Solera awnings, but we also went through some of the nuanced ones as well, from our manual pull strap to our 1000 XL, the Destination series, to the manual batwing, and up all the way through all of the different power awnings. So when it comes to identifying your awning, remember, look for the identifying label that's on the arm. Look for the variant label that's going to be on the roll tube, or look for some of those key identifiers we covered.